Hey, what's going on, everyone? So I just left the theater and I saw Blink Twice. So let's get into this. So this movie is published by Amazon MGM Studios and it's directed by Zoe Kravitz. Now the role of Frida is played by Miss Naomi Ackie, whereas her friend Jess is played by Alia Shawkat. Now this movie also sees Channing Tatum starring in it, who plays billionaire tycoon Slater King, which is the villain of the story. So I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. What is Blink Twice? Well, Blink Twice is described as a dark comedy and a psychological thriller, but I didn't really find any dark humor in this at all. As a matter of fact, I found this movie a little bit more psychological than I did haha funny. Now, even though this movie is packed with a full cast, the perspective is from Frida's perspective and her friend Jess's perspective. Now, at first, the movie does come off very, I want to say, lighthearted, and you get a sense of a movie type of vibe because there's a lot of drug use. Now, being that this is an R-rated movie, I do not recommend taking your kids to this movie, but as the story progresses, the vibe and the undertone of the movie really comes out in a Get Out type of vibe, but from a woman's perspective. Zoe did have a lot of real world inspiration in this movie, and I think that's kind of what she was going for here as she was telling the story. Because at first I was going, how did we get here? And I did find the movie jarring. I still couldn't help but feel a little bit confused and going, where is this movie going? Because it still felt all over the place. It didn't have a sense of direction. When you thought it was going one direction, it took you into another direction with each scene that doesn't seem to connect. At first, I just couldn't put my finger on the direction of the film because it just seemed to be going all over the place. It wasn't linear. Now, even though I totally understood later where Zoe was going with the film, Zoe did have a lot of real world inspiration in this movie. I could also tell that Zoe took some inspiration from Jordan Peele because I got a lot of callbacks to Get Out when it came to this movie, but from a woman's perspective. And I think that's kind of what she was going for here as she was telling the story. Because at first I was going, how did we get here? And why does the story feel so familiar? And then it wasn't until the film crossed a certain threshold where I was like, oh, this is where we're going. Okay. Now, the most important question that kept repeating in this film is each character was asking,
are you having a good time?
And I was just left answering in my head, no, I'm not having a good time watching this. And because of that, I got to give this film a 6 out of 10. All right, y'all. So if you like what I'm doing here, go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe, and let me know what you think about the movie reviews. As always, I'll catch you on the next film review. Take care.